you ever wondered why Mr. Bean is so strange? Why he acts like a child? Why he can't talk like everyone else? Why he never really fits in? It's easy to laugh at him. He makes silly faces. He does crazy things. But what if it's not just comedy? What if there's something much darker hiding behind all the jokes? Here's the theory. Mr. Bean isn't just odd. He's the product of abuse. Every smile hides pain. Every joke covers trauma. And once you see the signs, you'll never look at him the same way again. Think about it. He falls out of the sky at the start of the show. No parents, no family, no friends. Just him, alone. That's not normal. That's not just funny TV. That's isolation. That's neglect. And when you watch closely, the evidence is everywhere. From the way he acts in school, to the way he fears people in power, to the way he clings to Teddy, his only friend. This isn't just a clown. This is someone who's been broken and is trying to hide it. So let's dive in. Let's look at the proof. And let's finally answer the question. Was Mr. Bean abused? The first signs are easy to miss. At a glance, Mr. Bean just looks silly. But look closer and you'll see the cracks. One of the biggest clues is how he acts like a child. He's a grown man, but his brain is stuck in the past.
That is fantastic.
In the very first episode, The Exam, we see him panic like a little kid. He cheats, he fidgets, he even throws tantrums when things don't go his way. That isn't normal adult behavior. That's a mind trapped at a young age. Why does this matter? Because many people who suffer abuse get frozen in childhood. They never learn how to act like adults. They stay stuck in survival mode. And that's exactly how Bean behaves. Another sign is his social fear. In The Return of Mr. Bean, he sits in a fancy restaurant. Everyone around him eats with confidence, but not him. He doesn't know how to act. He's terrified of being watched. That isn't just comedy, that's social anxiety, that's trauma. And it happens again and again. Whenever Bean is around other people, he shuts down. He gets awkward. He messes up. He's embarrassed. Why? Because he doesn't feel safe. He doesn't trust the world around him. Another sign of abuse shows up in Mr. Bean's fear. He is terrified of authority. He can't deal with people who have power over him. Look at the trouble with Mr. Bean. He goes to the dentist, and the whole scene is chaos. He squirms in the chair. He panics at every sound. His fear isn't just funny, it's extreme. Almost like someone who has been hurt before by people who were supposed to take care of him. And it's not just authority. Bean also has a strange need for control.
Down, boy.
In Do It Yourself, Mr. Bean, he decides to redecorate his entire home. He plans everything down to the last detail. He builds traps. He even paints the whole room by blasting it with fireworks. It's messy, yes. But look at the deeper meaning. He is obsessed with making things his way. Why would he do that? Because people who grew up abused often had no control at all. They were shouted at, punished, ignored. So when they become adults, they cling to any little thing they can control. Their home, their food, their clothes, their routines. That's Mr. Bean. His world looks silly from the outside, but inside it's his fortress, his safe space, his way of saying, I'm in charge now. No one can hurt me anymore. But there's a darker side to this. When Bean loses control, even for a second, he snaps, he panics, he spirals. And that reaction is not random, it's trauma breaking through. One of the saddest signs of abuse is isolation. And with Mr. Bean, isolation is everywhere. Think about it. He has no real friends, no family, no community. The only one he trusts is Teddy, a stuffed animal. In Hair by Miss Bean of London, he even brings Teddy to the fair, like a child dragging along their security blanket. This isn't just comedy, it's a man who can't connect to real people, so he holds on to something that can't leave him. And when he tries to reach out, people laugh at him. Or worse, they ignore him. In Mr. Bean in Room 46, other guests see him as a joke. He embarrasses himself, and instead of helping, they mock him. This pattern repeats in almost every episode. He is either laughed at, pushed aside, or treated like he doesn't belong. That is exactly how neglect works. When a child grows up being ignored, they stop expecting kindness. They stop asking for help. They learn to live alone. Mr. Bean has mastered loneliness. It's his default state. Notice how he never calls anyone for help. His car breaks down, and he fixes it himself. He gets locked out, and he finds a way back in. Always alone, always struggling, never trusting anyone else. That's not independence, that's survival. And the scariest part, he doesn't even question it. He doesn't ask why no one loves him. He just accepts it, like he always has. Abuse isn't just about pain. It's also about humiliation. And Mr. Bean lives in humiliation every single day. Look at The Exam. He tries to cheat, he panics, he fails. Everyone around him looks calm, but he looks pathetic. That scene is funny to us, but for him, it's shame. Pure shame. In Back to School Mr. Bean, he ruins the fair. Messes up the art show. He gets trapped in the wrestling match. Once again, people laugh at him, not with him. He becomes the clown, the fool, the joke. That isn't just random slapstick, that's humiliation on repeat. And notice how he reacts. When things go wrong, he doesn't just shrug. He explodes, he throws tantrums, he lashes out. Like in The Curse of Mr. Bean, when kids laugh at him in the swimming pool. He doesn't laugh along, he snaps. That's not comedy, that's rage. Why rage? Because victims of abuse are taught to feel powerless. Every time they're embarrassed, the old wound opens. The shame comes back. They can't handle it, so they either shut down or explode. Mr. Bean does both. He hides when he feels weak. He rages when he feels mocked. It's a cycle of pain that never ends, and the more you watch, the clearer it becomes. Humiliation isn't just part of the show, it's part of his story. But wait, maybe you're thinking, isn't this just comedy? Isn't Mr. Bean meant to be silly and nothing more? And yes, that's the easy answer. It's just a character. It's just slapstick, a man falling over making faces and driving a tiny car. But think about this. Comedy has always been a mask for pain. The funniest clowns often hide the darkest stories. Rowan Atkinson himself once said that Mr. Bean isn't normal. He hinted that Bean doesn't quite belong in our world, that he's different, that he's broken in ways we may never fully understand. That doesn't sound like a character made only for laughs. That sounds like someone built with layers, someone hiding secrets. So maybe it isn't random. Maybe every fall, every flinch, every lonely moment is there for a reason. Not to make us laugh at him, but to make us wonder what happened to him. And if you start to wonder, you can't stop. The theory only grows stronger. Here's the truth. Mr. Bean isn't just a funny man in a brown suit. He's a victim. Every fall, every failure, every time he eats alone or clings to Teddy, it all points to one story. This is not comedy without meaning. This is comedy built on pain. Think of the scenes where he sits alone, the empty hotel room, the quiet meals, the silent drives in his Mini. These are not happy moments. These are sad portraits of a man who never healed. And maybe that's why Mr. Bean connects with us so deeply. We laugh, yes, but part of us also feels something heavier, something sad. Because deep down we recognize the truth. Mr. Bean is more than a clown. He's a survivor. He is carrying scars we can't always see. And that is why this theory makes sense. So was Mr. Bean abused? The evidence is there, the behavior, the fear, the neglect, the humiliation, the hidden messages. It all fits. And maybe that's the real secret of Mr. Bean. He makes us laugh, but he also makes us think. He hides his pain in plain sight, hoping we'll notice. But the question doesn't end here, because if abuse explains why Bean is broken, then what about the other theory? What if the real truth is even stranger? What if Bean isn't even human? That's a story for another day. If you want to see more theories like this, hit subscribe, leave a comment, share your own ideas. And if you want to support this work, join the Patreon. Every little bit helps keep these theories alive. Mr. Bean made us laugh. Now maybe he'll also make us feel.